So yeah, day one of having the van gets T-boned. What's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be about how I managed to get a van in what I'm calling the Vandemic. Now there's a massive international and national shortage of vans at the minute. It's really hard to get one, but I've managed to get one again for the second time round. So I thought I'd just share how I managed to do that. It's not like financial advice or anything like that, but I just thought I'd show, talk about the different options and just show how I got one. It also has been smashed up already, so you'll see that. And I've got a Rhino roof rack, a Rhino tube, and some Rhino roof clamps that I'm going to fit as well today, so you can see a bit of that whilst we talk about the different options and the different ways to get a van. Before we get into the video, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell button. It really supports the channel. And also, if you're liking content like this or stuff in the workshop, the technical stuff, or me out on site, you're just up to date with all the content I've got coming out. Let's run the intro and get into this video. So I'm definitely going to need you. What else are we going to need? I'll come back for it. So we've had a massive bag delivery. Got to sort that out later. The objective today is to get this roof rack sorted. So I'm going to need my socket set, and steps, knife to get into these boxes. So let's grab a knife. So this is everything I've got for the van. It's all Rhino. I always like their products. I've always got them for all the vans that I've got. But yeah, we've got basically a 3-bar roof rack. We've got the quick clamps, which are great. I've used them, had them at the old firm. And then I've finally got, this is the first time having one of these. It looks like it's been hit by a Rhino. But I've got the Rhino tube, the new one as well, the Pro, because I'm pretending to be a pro. So yeah, we're going to get all this fitted, and I'll take you out to see the van now. Right, so here she is. Citroen Berlingo. I actually had a dispatch, which is like a bigger version of this. I didn't want to go that big this time round, but this one should certainly do the job. And yeah, I just can't wait to be mobile again. Obviously 50% of my time still spent doing loadout stuff at the minute, but I'm trying to get more and more back on site doing what I love, because yeah, that's my true passion. I'm going to shove you guys above the van and we'll start fitting this roof rack together. So how did I manage to get a van during the Vandemic? Well, the first time round I managed to get a brand new Citroen dispatch for $400 including VAT a month, which is actually quite expensive. Brand new on what they call a contract hire, which is basically it's just a lease. So I pay my money every month, I get the van, but I do not own it. At the end of it, I've got to give it back. Now that van served me really, really well. However, it came to a point last Christmas where the company actually went bust. The company that I was leasing it from went bust, which meant I had to give the van back. Now, I probably wouldn't have given it back if I didn't have to, obviously. Probably would have carried on using it, and wouldn't have been the best decision, to be fair. I would have been spending money just for the luxury of having a van. So it was kind of a blessing in disguise that obviously, unfortunately, that company went bust and I had to give it back. What that meant was I was freed from the expensive contract I'd got myself into, and yeah, I obviously didn't need to pay that money. And while I was just coming here doing an office role and renovating and stuff, getting a lot of stuff delivered, I could actually save a bit of money for the electrical business, which obviously wasn't earning anything. So yeah, it came at a good time, and actually in hindsight it was the best thing that could have happened. Now it's April, loadout is set up, pretty self-sufficient. Still takes up a lot of my time though, probably half of it. However, I am desperate and dying to get back on the tools, because I love selling tools. It's amazing, I get to play with tools all day, but my real passion is installing. Now the channel's back going again. I'm obviously creating electrical content, and I am, believe it or not, gonna get back out on site soon. I've got loads of stuff booked in. I'm doing loads of stuff at my parents' house, loads of domestic electrical work. I've got loads of site work booked in too, but the main restrictive thing was that I didn't have a van. I didn't have a means of getting about. So I started the hunt again so I could get mobile. Now I quickly realised that, very similar to 2020, but a lot worse actually, the van shortage is in full effect. There's a national and international shortage. You can't get a van. Some of the prices are ridiculous. You know, the market value of them is incredibly inflated at the minute, and I basically paid new van money for this. Now this is a 2020 Berlingo. I paid 15 and a half, nearly 16 excluding VAT, but there's brand new ones selling for 16 and a half. So yeah, you know, even the nearly new market is incredibly inflated at the minute. However, needs must. Certainly for my electrical business, it's essential I have a van so I can get about. So just did what I had to do basically. I financed it this time round. Well, it's actually called a contract purchase. So last time was a contract lease, like I say, don't own it at the end. You're basically renting the van for a long term for the needs of your business. This time round it's a contract purchase. So basically I paid a deposit, which was actually all of the VAT up front, so I'll be able to claim that back on my next VAT return, so that's nice. And then I now pay a monthly payment, which is about $330 a month for 5 years, and then at the end of that I will own the van. No final payment, so it's not like a finance lease or anything like that where there's a balloon payment. At the end of it I own it outright, and it just means that it's actually going to become a company asset. That's great because basically slowly become the company's van. At the end of it we'll own it, or the company will, and when I want to get a new van or trade it in or just keep it, I won't be paying a monthly payment anymore. Yeah, if I want to trade it in or get a new van, I'll be able to have, you know, hopefully about £7,000-8,000 worth of equity in this van. So yeah, instead of just literally throwing money away, I'm actually investing it, which is far better. Now, of course, that's good with any sort of vehicle situation. That's what you want to be doing, but it's increasingly hard at the minute due to the shortage. So my advice would be go second hand. I was looking at new vans. The only new vans they had I didn't particularly like. They didn't suit my requirements, or they just weren't, you know, I know you can't be too fussy, but they just weren't what I was after. As soon as I opened my mind to go in second hand, loads of options opened up. There was a lot more variety. I could really sort of, have some sort of choice in what I wanted, and also be, very, very picky about the make, the model, the size, the colour, all that sort of stuff. Now, the best advice would probably be to just not buy a van at the minute, in all honesty, just because of the inflated market and everything like that. But if you've got to, if you're in a situation like me where you have to, then look at second hand, because you can get nearly new ones, you know, ones that you'll be more than happy with. They're vans anyway, so they're going to get scratched, they're going to get damaged, they're going to get abused. But you can get a good deal and have a lot more choice. If you want a new one, that's fine too, but you could be waiting months, upwards of 6 months, 8 months, 12 months in some cases. So you just want to be wary of that when you're deciding on what van to go for and what sort of agreement to pick. Right, so I fitted the roof rack, fitted the Pro Tube. I'm not going to do the clamps just because I'm not going to need them until I put the steps on. I might just show you them quickly. But we'll do a quick tour of the van first. I will show you this damage. I'm still not happy about that, but it is what it is. So, like I said, it's a Berlingo, nice little one. When it got dropped off, the delivery driver, it got driven down, but he's scuffed. Maybe that was already there, I'm not too worried about that. We've got this mark running down the side of it, which is a joke, to be honest. I'm really not happy about that, but they'll have to sort it out, because I'm just going to kick up a fuss until it is. And on top we've got the Rhino roof rack. So I always go for the one with the horns, just because I like to be able to yeah, keep stuff locked in. What I like about this one is these are super easy to adjust. So they're just on like these thumb screws. Got that, and then obviously with a bit of force, you can just slide them along like so. And then when you're done, you just tighten them up. The one I had before, you used to have to get the socket set out, even to do minor adjustments. So, and I think that was a Rhino one as well. So yeah, it's nice to see that they've sorted that out, and it just seems a lot better. Basically, it's obviously completely compatible with the tube as well, which I'll show you now. So I've never actually had a tube before, to be honest, but they seem dead handy just because I had the longer van before, so I could just slide stuff in, and it had the trap door where the passenger seat was, so you could lift that up and obviously slide stuff under it. This is a lot shorter, it's a lot smaller van, so I wanted to go for the Rhino tubes so that I didn't have to worry about any of that, and it's quite a smart idea. You just unlock it like so, open it up, and then you've got 3 meters of storage space in there. What's nice about this one as well is there's like a rubber sort of insert on the inside, and basically what that was people were saying that it would scuff up, like oval or white conduit or whatever, anything white would get marked up. So by putting that rubber sort of lining around the inside, nothing's going to get marked up, it's going to keep everything sweet. So yeah, super happy to have that. It's just yeah, it was fun to fit. It wasn't actually that bad, to be fair. It was relatively easy. Just clamps on via these brackets here. Now, yesterday, I was coming out of here. I'll just show you where that red car's just pulled out of is a concealed parking space. And as I drove past it, the owner of that business, nice guy, crashed into the side of me, T-bone. So that's the first day of having this van happened. And that's what happened to the van. So, yeah, day one of having the van gets T-boned. Next week it's going to go in and get sorted out. But yeah, it's just annoying. Like, it's metal, it'll get sorted out, of course, no one got hurt, but it's just so annoying on like the first day of having the van. The delivery driver does that to it, and then driving out of here a couple of hours later, someone T-bones me. He was driving a Porsche, so he's got a lot more to lose than I have. And yeah, it all gets sorted on insurance, but it's just typical, innit? It's just typical. But yeah, it is what it is. We'll go inside now, I'll show you these clamps, and then we'll wrap this one up. Right, so I've actually built these now. So essentially, grab your key, you turn that, twist that upwards. Real bad, there you go, real bad example. But yeah, you twist that upwards, and then you can then obviously adjust this. So the idea is you hook that around the roof bar, you push it down, compressing it onto the steps or whatever. You then lock that like so. That stops this moving about, really tightens it up. And then you remove the key, and yeah, you're away. So they are just far, far better than the twisties, the solid metal twisties that I used to have to use as an apprentice, especially when they were frozen in the winter. Yeah, it's a real ingenious design. It's really, really quick, and yeah, it's obviously lockable and safe too. So yeah, just a far better idea, and they're only like 40, 50 quid. So yeah, also made by Rhino. Go check them out. So there we have it, guys. That is how I got a van during the Vandemic. Like I say, none of this is financial advice. None of this is like specific, this is what you should do. But this is just what I found to be the best option in the current climate. Like I say, there's absolutely no vans available at the minute, no new vans. You can put yourself on a 12-month or 6-month or 9-month waiting list. But if you want something new, you're probably going to pay crazy money for it. It's probably, as I found with many listings, already been sold up to weeks ago. They just haven't taken the listing down. Or you'll be leasing it, because anyone who's got stock of new vans at the minute is holding them back for lease deals only. It seems like maybe they make more money off that, or they are able to rent it out for the same amount every month, but they obviously keep ownership of the van at the end of it. So there's probably a benefit there, which is why they're holding back the stock they got for those sort of deals. Now, as a small business, as a new business, the best option for me is an option where I own the van at the end, where I build equity in all that money I'm laying out every month. So yeah, going second hand gave me a lot more choice, a lot more options. I didn't pay the best money for it, which is the only downside. side. However, the deposit that I dropped is all VAT, so I can claim that back. I'm paying a reasonable amount every month, and at the end of the term I will own the van. I'll be able to sell it, keep it, do whatever, but I've built equity there, and that's really, really important. Like I say, none of this is financial advice, but this is just what I would recommend doing if you're after a van in the current climate. Hopefully in a year's time or so it will clear up anyway, we'll be back to normal, but yeah, at the minute it's just it's crazy out there. I'm going to wrap this video up. Before we do, the next video that's not, you know, some sort of tutorial or educational stuff in the workshop is going to be me at my parents' house finally, starting that EICR, so stay tuned for that. As always, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe and hit that bell button. It supports the channel, but more importantly, if you're liking the content, liking the videos, whether it is in here or out on site or whatever, you'll stay up to date with all the content I've got coming out. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.